A lot of engineers be lying to y'all, right? They want mixing and mastering to be the only parts of engineering that you focus on. But it's a little bit deeper than that. Like the video, leave your artist name in the comment section below, and we'll get into it. Engineering starts at the recording process, and that is the most important part because you can only mix what you record. So, and that mix and that master depends heavily on it, all right? So, how hard you hit the input on your preamp or just your interface, that matters. You see what I'm saying? If you want to use something like they use in a professional studio, like a Neve or SSL or the API or any type of gear, right? If you want to record like you're in the studio, it's not going to give you the same thing, but it gives you that mindset of the workflow where it's like, okay, I have to record a certain way and I have to commit to what I'm doing. I have to be okay with setting a new starting point, right? Because raw vocals aren't engineered when it comes to mixing, all right? Because a lot of your favorite artists' vocals, they aren't being mixed raw. They're being recorded through a Neve, they're recorded through 1176 or a two-way or a tube tech or whatever. Like they're using analog shit, but they're mixing in the box, right? So when it comes to it, like you look at the levels, right? There's no perfect level for everybody, and you have to understand that, right? You'll get better at engineering your vocals this way once you understand, okay, where do my vocals naturally peak, right? At what point do my vocals start to clip? If you understand that, your vocals will be engineered better. They will sound better. You will get better mixes if you understand what your voice is capable of and how well you can control it. Because if I'm recording, and y'all know me, so like if I'm standing back here, I have to know, like, okay, I'm probably going to be loud, I'm probably going to project my voice, so 40, 45 will probably be good. But if I'm on 20 or negative 20 right here or 30, right, that might not be the best. But if someone's recording and they're standing up close, you got to understand, if you're up close and you're doing all of this, your vocals are going to be more intimate, right? The vocals are going to be warmer, okay? So you have to understand, like, okay, if I'm recording up close, it's going to be intimate, it's a little bit warmer. Maybe I can adjust the EQ accordingly so I can take some of that warmth, that boxiness maybe you might get from that out, all right? So that's where it comes into play, right? Do you want to take away some of that? Because I could be up close. You see how thin my vocals get when I'm up close? You see what I'm saying? But if I leave it alone, you hear how they don't sound the same, right? Or if I add more air, right? You see how that kind of balances my vocal out? But some are arguing and be like, that's wrong. You should never do that. The only thing that you should never do is the thing that makes your vocal sound bad, all right? If that is the idea that you have, the sound that you have in your head, go for it. Try it. If it don't work, it don't fucking work. It might work next time, right? Just go back to the drawing board because all of these plugins have a lot of different knobs, settings for a reason. You could do whatever you want to do. Okay, so when it comes to engineering again, right? So your recording chain is very important. Me, I keep it simple, right? Auto-tune, preamp, a channel strip, something like that, or 1176 or a tool tech or a distressor. It depends on what I'm going for. If I'm using the distressor, I'm typically like really hitting the compressor hard, right? 1176 is just there because that's usually what a lot of people in the industry use. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's up to you on how you want to do it and how you want to engineer, right? Sometimes you can I'm talking about like really smack the shit out of your vocal on the way in. But you have to be okay with that. It's risky. You can fuck up the vocals or you can get something beautiful from it. So understand what the input, the output does, the attack and the release and the ratio, right? You don't have to use it just like this person in this YouTube video say, or this engineer on Instagram, this engineer on TikTok. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. Like, everyone does things differently. Engineering is like creating something that serves a purpose. You see what I'm saying? Like, you either trying to stop problems, you trying to make situations or systems easier. So it's like, that's the goal of engineering. Like, the engineering just isn't always trying to save something. Sometimes engineering is being preventative and just doing what you want to do. Because it's like, when it comes to this art, like, people want to be extremely technical about art. I get it. Engineering is a science, but This is making music. Art, you're recording your vocals. So it's like you're trying to engineer something that other people like, right? You don't want something that other people can just copy easily. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to like deliver your vocals, be heard. You want people to be able to connect with your music, right? These settings matter, but they don't matter as much as what you put into the song. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like nobody's listening to a Drake song hoping that he recorded through an 1176, right? Nobody's hoping like the front row of a Beyonce concert saying, I hope they running her vocals through an Avalon, because if they're not running her vocals through an Avalon, I'm not gonna like the show. Nobody's saying that, right? But it's like everything is done with a purpose, right? You have to be able to explain what's going on, right? Because let's say, like I was talking about the EQ, most people might have a vocal, their vocals might be like warm, kind of muddy like that. You hear how that sound? That one little movement makes a major difference in how you hear my voice. Like if I overdo it, my vocals get thin as shit and it's not really good. That's not engineered properly for what I'm going for. But let's say if I was engineering this to record something like a telephone filtered effect for something, that makes sense. I could do that EQ move and commit to that if I'm going to use that for the ad-libs. And I'm not going to change it at all, right? I can commit to that. Or I cannot commit to it. It's completely up to me and what I want to do, right? Because it's your song, your rules. But if you're going for a warmer, fuller vocal, EQ cut like this makes no sense. You see what I'm saying? You kind of got to find the sweet spot within your voice. That's what I'm saying. You got to understand your voice, because your voice is different from mine. You see what I'm saying? The way that you approach EQing is going to be different from me. You know what I'm saying? Right? I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really get into the nuanced and all the opinionated conversations when it comes to this, but it's like I know how I like my vocals, right? Like I could be very anal about little shit that might be off about my vocals, but at least I can explain what the fuck could be off about my vocals. You see what I'm saying? Somebody could be like, I would never do this. That's fine. You would never be paid to mix my vocals. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how they go. You feel me? But it's like, think about it, right? If your voice has sharp, like think about it. Like, if you know your voice is sharp in the 2K to like 3.2K range, right? If you know your voice is sharp with that microphone that you got and you can't upgrade the microphone, maybe you should really focus and work on that mid-range with your EQ, with the de-esser and all this other shit, right? You can do that if you understand what's going on with your vocals. A lot of people don't. A lot of people guess. They wing it. Like, if you can understand your voice and how it reacts and responds to the microphone, to the room, to the gear that you use, you'll be better than 90% of artists trying to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm in the living room, bro. Like, you're going to hear more of a natural roomy reverb. It's a bigger space. It's a bigger space. It's a high ceiling. So it's like, shit gonna be a little reverby, right? I might have to put like an NS1 or a D reverb on it. If it was empty, if I didn't have an eyeball, it'd be a little bit different. Let's say I got the TV, you hear the kid behind me, right? There's room elements in the vocal that has to be worked out. And I understand that, and I'm okay with that. You see what I'm saying? Then, when we're doing it, like, we have to perform right. So if we're using auto-tune, we have to perform right. But I'm not printing it, so hey, I might be able to use Wavetune or Melodyne or Auto-Tune Pro with the graph mode to move the notes around to get it to sound right. But it's like, you get what I'm saying, bro. Like, you control what you do. You control everything what you do, man. Like, engineering vocals is completely up to you, bro. Make sure it all has a purpose. Like, purpose matters, bro. your art, your music, your creativity. Use whatever plugins you want to use. Like, use the ones you know how to use. Just because the plugins are expensive don't mean they good, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Just because they expensive don't mean they good. You know what I'm saying? Just because the girl is bad and the girl of your dreams from the eye test don't make her your wife, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. Understand what works for everybody else might not work for you. So figure out you. And that's gonna make your songs feel more engineered.